Aside from fentanyl, that's just one of several issues that your committee has blocked. We've, seen enhancements for, the use of a gun in the worst of the worst crimes, a block of making domestic violence offenders face harsher penalties, same with human trafficking, rape of an unconscious person, rape of a developmentally disabled child. And what do you say to voters that see this type of the rejection for these bills?
So we gave all those bills reconsideration. We try to work with the authors so that we can make sure that they got to the specific root of what they're trying to do.
What discussions have you spoken to the authors of these bills?
They haven't spoken to me yet. Yeah,
okay.
I'm waiting for them to, the first tranche of it is come to us, give us some amendments, or give us some ideas.
A lot of these are Republican efforts, and we do see a difference in the way that Democrats are treated in your committee versus Republicans. And we hear that the committee overall is willing to work with Democrats on bills that you don't really necessarily agree with, or think that needs work. But with Republicans, they're stopped on the line in the first hearing and are told they're provided reconsideration. An example of that is Assemblymember Jesse Gabriel's bill, AB 484, which enhances penalties for people who steal or destroy $275,000 worth of property. Why is that bill getting through your committee but not these others?
Mr. Gabriel had made a commitment that if the bill isn't in the form or shape that we feel comfortable with, the committee, that he would either bring it back or we'd hold it. We didn't get that kind of cooperation from Republicans. So if Republicans had said, look, we will work with your committee, then yeah, we'll do that. And we'll continue to work with them. But we did not get that kind of cooperation.
I've heard plenty of Republicans say that in your committee.
After they knew the bill may not make it, then they wanted to go ahead and work with us and have concessions. It's unfortunate.
There is a very specific treatment of Republicans versus Democrats. And I already noted Jesse Gabriel, but even in smaller terms, for example, last week, Kids with Developmental Disabilities Rape Bill, AB 808. Assemblymember Ortega basically attacks the Republican Assemblyman Devin Mathis, asking if he's met with his constituents about housing. What does that have to do with the bill? You say that everyone needs to get on the same page, but how is that going to happen with the action in your committee?
Well, the first part of that will be probably with the fentanyl discussion that we're going to have this summer, as I invite all and everyone into the same room to have the discussion where they can freely and fairly discuss everything. And we make it a safe place.
There are a lot of other topics we touched in that interview that did not make it into this piece, including other issues with fentanyl, retail theft, and the committee's approach to those issues. We're going to post this entire interview online for you to watch and decide for yourself how all of this is playing out.
But super quickly, we know a lot of our viewers are so interested in the fentanyl bills. This lawmaker has halted those. He did say down the road we may, create a safe space to look at them. But in the meantime, is there anything that other lawmakers can do to speed this up or get around that?
Yeah, at this point it seems like there's some helplessness at least, and some Republicans actually plan to force a full floor vote on the Assembly tomorrow on actually mostly Democratic written bills. So it's unclear how this is going to go down. Typically this type of action we've seen with suspending the gas tax has been shot down immediately, but because these are Democrat written bills, we'll just have to see how that plays out. That's tomorrow morning.
Okay, really important questions to ask. Thank you for asking them.
Thank you.